I'm Ranajoy. Today I'll talk about a combination in the English language noun plus noun. Now here it obviously combines two nouns together. Now here actually combining two nouns actually makes a compound word. Now here if we combine two nouns together, noun plus noun, then it makes a compound word. Now here compound word is basically a word that uses two other root words in order to make a one new word. Now here that is basically the purpose of it. Obviously noun plus noun equals compound word. Obviously two nouns can be used to create a compound word. A word that uses two root words in order to make one new one. So here when do we use it or how is it made? So we often use two nouns together, noun plus noun, to mean one thing, person, idea, etc., which is basically the compound word. For example, tennis ball. It can be a tennis ball or a road accident. Or it can also be a road accident. So here tennis ball obviously combines tennis, the sport, and ball as a spear like a structure or thing object, a spear like object, and road obviously road and accident combines into road accident. So here two words can be used in order to indicate one thing. For example, tennis ball obviously indicates the ball that is used in the sport tennis, and road accident is an accident or that happened on the road. That is basically a noun plus noun, a compound words. So the first noun is like an adjective. It tells us what kind of thing, person, or idea it is. Obviously the first noun on the combination noun plus noun or compound word can be used as an adjective. For example, again tennis ball. So here the word tennis. So here you can also refer at that the tennis and the noun tennis describes the ball that is used in the sport tennis. So here the first noun can act like an adjective. For example, tennis here, which can describe ball as it is the ball that is played in tennis. So it can also work like an adjective. Obviously another one is income tax. So here income tax. Income obviously describes tax as it is the tax that you have to pay with your income or your earnings. So basically the first noun can act like an adjective that can describe the second noun. So you can say a television and camera, television program, television studio, a television producer. Some examples. Obviously a television program. Obviously television is used to describe program as it is a program that can be seen or watched on television. Obviously pretty simple. The first noun can be used as an adjective. So here often the first word ends in ing. Usually these are the things that are used for doing something. For example, a washing machine. And here often the first word ends with ing. So obviously some words in the noun plus noun can also use ing for the first noun. So here it is often used for things that are used for doing something. For example, washing machine. So here, washing machine also describes the machine that can be used to wash our clothes or anything which is dirty. That's called washing machine. So washing, obviously it's used to describe, I have an action here and it ends with ing, washing machine. Pretty simple. And sometimes the first noun tells us which thing is meant. So the first noun can also be used to specify what is the thing that's being referred to. Example, the sea temperature is only 18 degrees. So here the sea temperature is only 18 degrees. So here it also refers to the temperature of the sea, which is obvious. So sorry. Now anyways, the first noun can be also be used to specify the second noun. For example, the sea temperature is only 18 degrees. Obviously it refers to the temperature of the sea, obviously. So that is another rule. And sometimes there are more than two nouns together. Yes, so sometimes there can also be three nouns here in the combination. For example, I waited at the hotel reception desk. Alright. So I waited at the hotel reception desk. Oh wait. There we go. So here, as you can see, there are actually three nouns being used here in this combination. Noun plus noun plus noun. There are three of them. Hotel, reception, desk. So it is possible for three nouns to be used in the exact same combination or compound word. But here it's basically just a combination, not a compound word. But here it can also be a compound word when nouns are together like this. Sometimes we write them as one word and sometimes as two separate words. So sometimes as when nouns are together like this in this form, then we can also write them as one word. For example, toothpaste. This is a compound word, toothpaste. Also combines tooth and paste together into toothpaste. So yes, it can also be written separately, but it's just not that used as much. So that's why only toothpaste is being used as in the combined form, obviously. Another example is weekend. So here weekend is obviously combines week, a period of 7 days, and end, the finish. Basically finish, week and end. Weekend. So here it can also be written as separate, but the combined form is more common. So that's why weekend, the combined form is usually used. So that is the compound word. Sometimes it can be written together, sometimes it's two different words. So there are no clear rules for this. Now here for compound words that are formed combine or separate, there's no clear rule for this. If you are not sure, it's usually better to write two words. You can often put a hyphen between the two words, but it's not really necessary. See, there's actually no clear rule for anything, whether you should combine them or just write them as two separate words. There's no clear rule. So if you're not sure if you want to write that word as separate or combined, then it's usually better to write in two words. Now I can put a hyphen between the two words, but this is not really necessary, but still you can write it, like a dining room. Your dining room. So you can put a hyphen between the two words, but it's not really necessary, so it's usually not used. Dining room, you can write it like this, but it's not really necessary. You don't have to do this, and it's not even recommended either. Now note the difference between the combination of two nouns. For example, here wine glass and a glass of wine. So here these are two different combinations here. It might look like that they have the same meaning here, but they do not have it. So here wine glass. So here it obviously describes a glass that is usually meant for wine to be placed in it, to be poured in it. A glass which is especially for wine, and a glass of wine, it can be referred, the glass can be anything. Okay. So a wine glass usually describes a glass that is only especially for storing wine, or actually pouring wine. And a glass of wine is just, it can be any type of glass with wine in it. So you better make sure to learn the difference. Wine glass, a glass which is meant for storing wine, and a glass of wine, it can be any wine. Actually no, it can be any type of glass. Here it can be any type of a glass which has wine in it. So you better make sure to know the differences. Now when we use noun plus noun, the first noun is like an adjective, obviously. We said that before. It's normally singular, but the meaning is often plural. So here the first noun is the first noun is usually singular, but its meaning is plural. Yes, it might appear singular, but it's actually a plural. Well, the meaning. For example, bookshop. It's a shop. Also, it's a shop where you can buy books. Now, obviously, it's referring to a number of books, not just one book. So, bookshop. Book is being used, it's obviously the singular form, but it's used to describe a store where you can find books. Yes, the plural form, the plural form. And so even though it's singular, the meaning is plural. It's referring to a plural meaning. Another one is apple tree. A tree where there are a lot of apples. Not just one apple, many. There can be hundreds, there can be thousands. So apple, the singular form is written, but yes, it is referred to a large number of apples, obviously. So here obviously a 3 hour a journey. So 3-hour journey. So a 3-hour journey. So here hour, it's not used to describe one single hour, it's actually 3 hours. Even though it's singular, it's referring to plural meanings. So we say it was a 3-hour journey, but the journey took 3 hours. So the sentence says it was a 3-hour journey, but the journey took 3 hours. Yes, so it's written as a singular, but it's referring to the plural number or of whatever it is. So so that is the structure. Obviously, so the hour is a singular, but here it's referring to a plural, obviously. So you also should keep that in mind. Alright, so that's all about a noun plus noun or compound word. Alright, so that's all for this video. Bye.